Thank you so much for joining us today for the TSDAR Beginning Regents Training. I'm Holly Matthews, Cabot Station Chapter Regent and Appalachian District Secretary.
And I'm Amanda Hillard, Cabot Station Honorary Chapter Regent and State Librarian.
Our fabulous page and moderator today is April McCroskey, First Vice Regent of the General William Lenore Chapter. And we do want to say a special note to thank everyone so much for hanging in there with us and for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you, and we hope that you enjoy the session and it's helpful for you. So we know that, like tonight, this year presents a unique set of challenges to us as chapter regents. But we also know that chapter regents are our society's superheroes who eat challenges for breakfast while wearing a full set of pins and juggling the many aspects of their lives. As a beginning regent, we applaud you for taking this first step in your season of service by attending this training. You are our superheroes of service. We hope that today will provide you with helpful information to begin your journey as chapter regent as you lead your chapter to rise and shine for America. And as April said, please note that this presentation will be recorded and posted online so that you may refer to it later. We're so happy that you have chosen to accept today's mission. Today, you will learn about resources available to help you as regent, learn all about reporting, learn about important dates and deadlines and where to find them, and learn about tools for online member engagement. Let's begin by learning about incredible resources for incredible regents. Our first resource is our NSDAR members website. This site is power-packed with resources for any new regent. The website is located at dar.org/members. To log in, you will need your state, chapter name, and finally, your national number. Once you have logged in, you will be able to access tons of super materials. Let's start with one of the most important resources for regents, the Chapter Regents Manual and Parliamentary Procedure Guide. Located under Committees, then DAR Leadership Training, and from there, go to Training and Resources. It's a Regents 101, essential for new regents and helpful for reference needs for all regents. Many important topics are covered in the manual. Topics include the duties of all officers that you can share with your chapter officers. Excuse me. It also has a section on your duties that you will want to read. Included are FAQs on policy and procedure, a suggested order of business, a suggested form of budget, and much more. Be sure to spend some time reviewing the manual. While in the section for DAR leadership training, you will also notice a 15-minute webinar from National for Chapter Regents, as well as a guide to remote meetings and socials. These are excellent tools, as are the webinar library and member training courses available through NSDAR. We encourage you to take the New Horizons and members courses if you haven't. Form a chapter group to encourage member participation while you learn together and enjoy fellowship time. You can even do this virtually. Next, let's view the National Information Packet, better known as the NIP. The NIP can be found by clicking on Forms and Publications and National Information Packet. The NIP is published on the members' website with annual updates. It contains information from each national officer, as well as the national committees. Spend time reading through the NIP to familiarize yourself with the current goals and projects of the National Society. Ensure that your executive board and chapter committee chairs have access to the NIP, especially to the pages regarding their offices and committees. Another invaluable resource for any regent is the Chapter Achievement Awards, or CAA, Planning Guide. You can find this form by going to Committees, Chapter Achievement Awards, and then Planning Guide. The Planning Guide will help you to gauge the health of your chapter, as well as guide you as you plan chapter activities for the year. The National CAA will be completed on e-membership during your annual chapter reporting. Your chapter can earn points for submitting dues on time, for completing a service project for the DAR Day of Service, and for having programs in a variety of categories, just to name a few. Now that you have seen some of the highlights of the NSDAR members website, let's check out what is available on our state members website. Our state website is located at tndar.org/members. This website will definitely help your chapter soar. Let's start with one of our favorite resources to make sure we don't miss any deadlines, the Regents calendar. Find this calendar by clicking on Forms and Publications and scrolling to Chapter Regents Calendar. This resource provides important information, such as when your chapter should elect delegates, when dues are due, when items must be postmarked for mailings, and so much more. To stay on track, check off or date items as they are completed. Ensuring that you have completed all items and submitted them on time will guarantee that your chapter leaps tall buildings, or at least chapter reporting, in a single bound. Next, we will take a look at the State Information Packet, better known as the SIP. To view the SIP, go to Forms and Publications and State Information Packet. You may download the entire SIP or SIP, or you may click on individual SIP pages by office or committee. The SIP contains information from state officers as well as committee chairs, with an emphasis on state projects and goals that are in line with national projects and goals. Read through it, keep it handy, and use it in your chapter planning. Make sure that your chapter officers and committee chairs have access to the SIP. Next, let's view an important document for state reporting. This is the State Chapter Achievement Awards and Chapter Master Report Preview. To view this document, simply click on page 4 of the SIP. This PDF is a preview of the state reporting that you will complete online in January. Use this document wisely by reviewing it, sharing it with your board and committee chairs, and using it in chapter planning. Even if you have seen this form before, make sure to read it again, as it changes yearly. E-membership is also a tool that you will use on a regular basis. You can find e-membership at emembership.dar.org, and it is also linked from the NSDAR members website. E-membership offers many helpful features to help you manage chapter information. For example, you can download member information to use in creating mailing labels for dues notices and other purposes, and there is even a mail merge instruction sheet to help you. There is also an e-membership tutorial for chapter leaders that you can watch if you're just beginning to learn e-membership. You can find it in e-membership under Help. Your treasurer can also pay your chapter's national dues online with chapter direct payments under the Updates tab. There are also many helpful chapter reports to be found in e-membership. The Membership Anniversaries Report will show you which members have anniversaries for which you may want to order a certificate from NSDAR to honor them. The Service to America Chapter Tally allows you to see all of the entries made by chapter members into your chapter's Service to America Tally and allows you to manage the information. E-membership is also where you will complete the national reporting for your chapter. To request a login for e-membership, if you don't already have one, you will need to email organizing@dar.org with your name, national number, chapter, and office. Keep in mind that regents, vice regents, registrars, treasurers, and recording secretaries can access e-membership. If you have new officers, please encourage them to use e-membership. Some of the most helpful tools for us as regents when we have had questions are the DAR Facebook groups. There are now more groups than ever about topics such as service to America, national defense, women's issues, finding your female patriot, lineage research, and much more. There is also a Facebook group just for chapter regents and vice regents. If you have a question, there is a very real possibility that someone else may have posted the same question on this Facebook group. You can search the posts to find topics you want. This group is also a wonderful place to find resources instead of completely reinventing the wheel. For example, we found a member interest survey on this Facebook group in the Files section. We simply downloaded the example that we liked, as there were several, and then tailored it to the needs of our chapter to learn our members' areas of interests as regards committee work, programming, and more. Consider joining this group of ladies who have a great deal of experience and ideas among them. You can also share with your officers and committee chairs that there may be a Facebook group just for them. Chaplains, treasurers, and registrars each have a Facebook group, as do many committees. To join the Regents group, type in the name DAR Chapter Regents, Vice Regents, and Past Chapter Regents Forum. Then click Join Group and answer the verification questions. It's basically the Regent version of Avengers Assemble.
Now that we have the tools we need under our capes, it's time to talk about reporting. Reporting is the time to marvel at your chapter's accomplishments. We'll begin with national reporting. National reporting showcases the vibrancy of your chapter and helps to document DAR's impact. Required national reporting consists of the National Chapter Master Report, or CMR. The CMR consists of two parts, the Master Questionnaire and the Chapter Achievement Awards. The Master Questionnaire consists of detailed questions about the committee work done by your chapter throughout the year. It's your chapter's time to shine. Be thorough and answer each section. The planning guide for the CAA was discussed earlier in this presentation. Chapters are awarded points based on the CAA and earn level 1, 2, or 3 awards, with level 1 being the highest. Both pieces of the CMR are completed on e-membership. Is your spidey sense tingling? It might be, because the CMR is now live. You may begin entering information to make reporting easier as we approach the end of the year on December 31st. Equally as important as national reporting is state reporting. State reporting consists of State Chapter Master Report and the State Chapter Achievement Awards. We showed you the PDF preview for these reports earlier in the presentation. You will answer questions about your chapter's financial information, reporting, membership, committee work, activities, and participation in state projects. These reports are completed online only via a link that will be provided on the TSDAR members website on the Tennessee CAA and CMR page. Next, we will discuss supplemental reports. When completing the National CMR on e-membership, you will be asked on each committee report if you are sending additional information. While these reports are not required, if your chapter participated in special projects or activities for a committee, you should consider sending a supplemental report. You might just win a state or national award. Be sure to check out the committee NIP and SIP for any instructions, as some reports require special cover sheets, forms, or even folders. Your report will most likely consist of a narrative about your activities, along with photos and any corresponding items. Mail these reports to your district director by the deadline unless indicated otherwise on the SIP. No large binders or staples, please. Keep your reports thorough but succinct. Next up is the Regents Narrative Report. As Regent, you will submit an annual report to the state to highlight your chapter's work and accomplishments throughout the year. This report really requires brevity, as it is only limited to 250 words. Make sure you read through the formatting requirements in the State Recording Secretary's SIP page on the TSDAR members' website. Remember that the Regents narrative is time to brag about your chapter. And just like Clark Kent and Lois Lane, your work will be published. The narrative reports are included in the TSDAR proceedings, which are published every 3 years. To make your reporting as painless as possible, be your own reporting hero by following these steps. Keep a running document of chapter activities, programs, donations, etc. that you can refer back to at reporting time. Creating a Google Doc to which board members and committee chairs have access to contribute is a great way to manage this. Store your chapter photos online in one place by using Google Photos, Dropbox, Flickr, or any other service. Create albums by activity or month to easily access photos at reporting time. Using questions from the national and state CMR and CAA, create a chapter reporting survey for your members at the end of the year. Their answers to these questions will help you more thoroughly document the full impact of your chapter. Finally, you can create a template for supplemental reports to use each year with most of the supplemental reports that you might send.
Next up, let's talk about those all-important dates and deadlines. The bat signal is calling. Make sure to have your CMR, CAA, and any supplemental reports submitted by January 19th, 2021. Your Regents Narrative Report must be submitted by February 15th, 2021. Finally, in order to complete the business of the State Society and have a voice in what happens, your chapter should elect delegates to state conference. In order for delegates to participate, you must postmark the credentials form by March 10th, 2021. The credentials form is located in the SIP under TSDAR credentials. Finally, use the quick reference calendar for annual reports found in the SIP on page 3 to ensure that you have met all of these deadlines.
In light of the COVID-19 pandemic and our President General's renewed call to engage and energize our members during this uncertain time, we would like to give you a brief overview of virtual tools. You can use these tools in the event that your chapter would like to meet virtually or any time to provide a virtual meeting option for members. You just may engage members who are not able to attend meetings due to living far away, having young children, being housebound, etc. So let's take a look at tools for virtual member engagement. Go, go, Gadget Zoom! One of the most popular tools for virtual meetings is Zoom. This is the platform that our chapter has been using for virtual meetings. To power up your virtual meeting, you may want to purchase a Pro account. Pro accounts are $14.99 per month. With a Pro account, attendees may join meetings online or by dialing in, even from a landline. With a Pro account, up to 100 people can join a meeting, and meetings can last for up to 24 hours instead of the 40-minute time limit in the free version. You can invite speakers to share their presentations via Zoom via the screen share feature like we are using right now. If your chapter is not quite ready for an online meeting, never fear, freeconferencecall.com is here. This teleconferencing tool is free to dial in. There is a pay-as-you-go system for users who wish to make a donation, but this is not required. Up to 1,000 users can dial into the call, and calls may last up to 6 hours. This tool may be less intimidating than video conferencing tools and may be a good place to start for some chapters. Other video tools that you may want to consider are also listed. Cisco WebEx, a video conferencing tool, will allow up to 100 attendees to meet for 50 minutes in the free version. Skype is another video conferencing tool which allows 50 attendees to meet for an unlimited amount of time in the free version. Another option is Facebook Live. Although this tool provides one-way video only, stream your chapter meetings from your video camera or even from Zoom. Just remember to only broadcast chapter business in a private chapter Facebook group. When considering which tool may be best for your chapter, consider your members' preferences, the security features of each tool, and your own comfort level. Do reach out for help if you need it. There is likely a regent in our state who has tried each tool that has been discussed. More virtual meeting resources can be found on the NSDAR members website under Committees, DAR Leadership Training, and Training and Resources. Click on Remote Meetings and Socials. This page includes webinars on teleconferencing and video conferencing created just for you by the National Society. Take some time to explore these resources. Before we end our time together today, we encourage you to explore your why for being a chapter regent. Even in a typical year, chapter regents give their time and juggle life as they lead their chapters. What inspires you to serve as a chapter regent?
One moment, ladies, while I get this up and running for you. Can everyone see that okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can see the green screen. Okay, wonderful. All right, using your phone. So if you have a device with you, you can use this. And if you can't participate, we certainly understand. But if you have a phone or another device that you can use, if you will go to menti.com, menti.com, and enter this code, 597896, and you can answer this question: what inspires you to serve as a chapter regent? If you're there, you can answer the question in a few words, and your answers will appear in a word cloud to inspire us all as we do the work of our society this year. So I'll give you just a moment if you would like to participate in that. I'm seeing some great answers popping up. And if you cannot get to menti.com, feel free to type your answer in the chat box, and you can participate that way. Wonderful answers. Yes. I love it. And many people are putting service, which is why that word is one of the biggest words, which is excellent. And we know we are striving to move forward in a season of service this year, especially with all of our unique challenges. And I see volunteering in our chat, absolutely. Preserving our heritage, encouraging patriotism, inspiring, that's wonderful. Thank you all so much for participating in that. I thought that we could use a little inspiration this year as we embark on this year. So we hope that you enjoyed this brief activity to connect us to our reasons for serving as we kick off this year. As we know, this meeting year may look and feel a bit different, but know that you're not alone and that you have a network of support in your fellow regents all across the state. Like the Wonder Women you are, we know that truly wonderful things will happen in our state because of the work that you and your chapters will do this year. To quote Mrs. Van Buren, we know that Tennessee chapters will take a dilemma and turn it into Delemonade. Thanks so much for attending the Beginning Regents training today. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat box along with your name and chapter. Our page, April McCroskey, will moderate the Q&A session by reading the questions aloud. And we would also like to thank April for serving as our page and hanging in there tonight. We really appreciate you, April.